Hey class! Today we're going to continue reading our text, The Keeping Quilt. Yesterday, we focused on pages 1 through 5. Today we're going to focus on pages 6 through 9, particularly the illustrations and the author's use of color. We're also going to be thinking about our question that we're going to be answering later. What are the many ways the family uses the quilt? So as I'm reading, I want us to be thinking about the different ways that you notice that this family uses that same quilt. Okay, let's begin. We're skipping to page 6. And so it was. Anna's mother invited all the neighborhood ladies. They cut out animals and flowers from the scraps of clothing. Anna kept the needles and threaded and handed them to the ladies as they needed them. The border of the quilt was made of Anna's babushka. So on this page, we can see that the illustrator chose to have the people all in black and white and gray, but the quilt is very, very bright and colorful. I'm wondering why the illustrator chose to do that. On Friday nights, Anna's mother would say the prayers that started the Sabbath. The family ate challah and chicken soup. The quilt was the tablecloth. Wow, so on this page, I want you to think, what was the family using the quilt for? That's right, a tablecloth. Let's go on to the next page. Anna grew up and fell in love with great-grandpa Sasha. To show he wanted to be her husband, he gave Anna a gold coin, a dried flower, and a piece of rock salt, all tied into a linen handkerchief. The gold was for wealth, the flower for love, and the salt so their lives would have flavor. She accepted the hanky, and they were engaged. So on this page, they look like they're using the quilt as like a picnic blanket. So already that's two different uses for the same quilt. Under the wedding huppah, Anna and Sasha promised each other love and understanding. After the wedding, the men and women celebrated separately. That's very different than what we do today. Nowadays, when we have a celebration or a party, everyone celebrates with everyone. But I guess back then, or maybe the way that they do it in Russia, they separate and the women party with the women and the men party with the men. Now let's revisit our idea about the color. Again, the illustrator chose to have everything in like black and white and gray, but they're really making sure that that quilt stands out. It's colorful, it's bright, and every time I turn the page, my eyes go straight to the quilt. So I'm thinking the illustrator did that so that each time we are reading, we can notice where the quilt is and how it's being used. And on this page, as the author wrote, it's being used as a hubbah. And it's over the bride and the groom. So here's the bride and here's the groom getting married. And it's kind of covering over them. I think that's what a huppah must mean. All right, that's all we're going to read from our book today. Remember to answer the question in your notebook. What are the many ways the family uses the quilt? All right, I look forward to reading your responses.